Happy Father's Day to you, Glenn.
Yeah,
To
Glenn.
all of those children you have out there.
Glenn, just for tonight, can we call you Dad? Or would that be weird?
Can you be our daddy?
Yeah, can we call you
And you know
Daddy?
what? I told
I have
him
6 boys of my own, and I've adopted 2, so I have 8 kids. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they're in their 20s, so good for.
they're in their 20s. You're funny.
I told him yesterday. I was like, we're gonna start off the show. Dan and I would start off the show calling him Daddy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much for filling in for Dan's
Yes.
sick sense of humor as well.
Dan isn't here yet, so
No,
somebody's
no.
got to do it.
So, welcome everyone to an all-new Verbal Ejaculation. The chat room is open if you want to join us. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Happy Father's Day to my father down in Burlington. Got to see him today. Did you get to spend time with your dad?
No, I called him and he called me back. We both have very busy schedules, so I did a little tribute to him though. Last night on Matt Connerton Unleashed, at the end of the show, I played a few songs that my dad and I, when I was growing up, we didn't have that generation gap in terms of music.
Yeah.
Because my dad always, and to this day, you'll never catch him listening to an oldie station or even a classic rock station. He's always interested in current music. It's genuine too. It's not like he does it just to fit in or be cool or whatever. He's really interested in current music. So when I was a kid, we liked a lot of the same stuff. So I finished off the show last night playing a few things in his honor, even though he doesn't have a computer, so he'll never hear the show. But I played 3 songs that particularly stood out in my mind as being songs that he and I both really loved when I was a kid. You know, songs that I would play in the car on the way to my grandmother's or whatever, and he would say, "Oh, I really like that." So I played "Tears Are Falling" by Kiss, 5150 by Van Halen, and "Wasted Years" by Iron Maiden. So I played those for my dad, even though, like I said, he'll never hear the show. But
it's an eclectic selection that you share with your dad. Somewhat eclectic.
it's all 80s rock.
Yeah.
But,
see, and when I grew up in the 80s, it was me, my mom, and my dad shared oldies.
Really?
I grew up with the Supremes, the Temptations, Elvis, that whole gambit. So
Yeah.
I would think from one song that I would think of from my dad would probably be "Good Vibrations" by the Beach Boys.
Really?
That's one that he always enjoyed. My parents' wedding song was "We've Only Just Begun" by the Carpenters,
Really?
which I believe on this horrible radio station that satellite is playing above our heads played about 20 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really hear that.
I know.
Yeah, no, that's...
I'm just pointing out that there is a horrible radio station above us.
You guys can't hear it at home, but we
Yes.
have sort of the department store paired with church motif going on here this week.
Yeah. We've got
That's actually part of a tent,
yes.
and I believe in that tent, an 80-year-old woman cried once.
These are very
It's a very
fragile windows, by
Very,
the way.
very inside, very inside
Very
joke.
fragile.
Look pretty solid to me.
Glenn, I have a question. On the Thursday edition of Let It Large Gone Global, which, by the way, the podcast is available on IPMNation.com, by the way.
Is the video available?
No, because you would have to give that to me in order, or you would have to post it.
Then I will do that.
But the audio is available. But I have a question, Glenn. Your guest was John Heichel,
Yeah.
and you tried to get him to commit to whether he was running for the
Well,
Senate.
he's not.
He has decided he's not
He
running?
called me Friday.
All right. Well,
Oh, so it's
But
confirmed.
that was Joe Lara that made that phone call at the beginning of the show.
see, I missed the beginning. I recorded the whole thing
Somebody
and made the
called and
podcast.
said, "I have big news for you," and the big news was that he wasn't running. And I said, "I know this voice, Joe."
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the beginning of your show too, your Thursday show, and the middle and the end. I didn't watch it.
It's your loss.
I know.
Well, you can download it from IPMNation.com.
That is right. That is.
From ManchesterTV.org.
Well, you can't download it from there.
Oh no, you can't download it. You can't watch it unless it airs either.
Right, exactly.
I think we gotta send a big congratulations to Glenn. His show Let It Large Gone Global on IPMNation.com and QCE News on the IPMNation.com site. You jumped from number 10 last week. Your show is now number 5. That's
Yes.
a big jump up. Congratulations.
That is. That's
You're
huge.
still below Verbal Ejaculations, but congratulations.
Yeah, what number are you?
We're number 4.
We're on our way.
Number 4, people. Thank you very much, and thanks to everybody. Everybody who watched our episode last week. We got up to 27 views on Ustream. That's it may seem like a small number, but to us that's actually pretty amazing. So thank you all. And they only record those numbers once the show is done. So you guys had to go out there and watch Verbal Ejaculation after the live broadcast. So thank you for watching the replay. At any time you want to get in touch with us if we're not on the air, you can email us at ve@ipmnation.com. But if you are watching live right now, Sunday, June 17th, it is now 9:35 p.m. in Eastern Time. You can give us a call at 978-702-9952, or you can join us in the Ustream chat room. Join us on ipmnation.com, on qcnews.com. At some point last week while we were watching the live feed, because I'm so self-centered that I'm actually watching us watching. We got up to something like 68 views at the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
The total in the 2.5 hours hit at 1,125.
That's amazing.
And to all of you who also watch other QCE News programming, the Roulette at Large Gone Global from 2 weeks ago, where we had live reptiles, and
That's
we had
the one that hit 1,000.
yeah, we had Phil Griazzo at one point. The replay watch hit 107 views so far. So
This Friday hit almost 3,000.
Wow.
I know they might doubt it, but
it was
That's
it was something. Yeah.
Amsterdam has moved up too, by the way, on the top our top 10 shows on IPM.
Yes,
They're
I have that up.
Up to number 2.
They're number 2, and Shadow of the Night Radio. Congratulations, guys! You're still there at number 1. Our co-host is here right now. If you want to go grab him, Glenn. He does not want to be in front of the camera with that shirt on.
why?
Is that Jesus holding a sword?
It is not. It's me holding a sword.
It's Jesus
I don't
holding
know
a
if you
sword.
can show it, I don't have the camera on.
There it is. Jesus holding a sword, everybody. It's Jesus holding a sword. So yeah, it's been. I guess we're gaining popularity. I don't know.
And it seems that way.
I still don't think the show's that great. But Verbal Ejaculation. Come on, people. You have to be crazy to be watching a show with that title. But if you are, hello.
There's a lot of crazy people out
Yes,
there.
there is.
They're crazy.
Craziness.
But that's how it goes.
So, and I just closed this down. Not well. I just shut down my page.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we're not off the air, are we?
No,
My
we're not
goodness.
off the air yet. Because the government hasn't taken us off yet.
Are the Amsterdam guys in the chat room?
Amsterdam guys are not in the chat room, and I'm not speaking to them right now. In particular, the gentleman who has his name in the title of the show that starts just before us.
Why is that?
That would be because at the very end of their show that preceded us, again, we're not mentioning the name, Ryan was just about to do a promo for Verbal Ejaculation when the other gentleman who hosts the show cut him off by playing a song.
Ugh.
So I'm not speaking to them. That's it. We're fighting with the Amsterdam
The
guys.
indignity.
How dare you?
By the way,
How dare you.
By the way, everyone, in a few minutes we will have the intro from last week's show uploaded to the website.
Excellent.
Mr. Dan Randlett has just given me the disc.
Mr. Dan Randlett. Oh, actually, there's one right in front of you.
Nice.
I'm
not here
So
yet.
again, to our
You're not here yet?
Did you announce I was here yet? I didn't know.
Well, I just referred to you.
Because Glenn said he was going to let me in.
Dan Randlett is here. To our dads that are out there, a special mention to a couple that might be watching or might probably not. But to David down in Rhode Island, special happy Father's Day to you. Your daughter is 14, and I can't believe I met him when his ex-girlfriend at the time was pregnant. That's how long I've known David in Rhode Island. 14 years. And to Kenny, I'd like to wish you a happy Father's Day. I know you're not officially a dad, but you do have a 23-year-old fiance who I'm sure calls you daddy. So
Oh, my.
happy Father's Day to you.
TMI.
Cats. You have cats.
And oh yes,
They're
my
children.
babies,
Yeah,
to Bart and Maggie.
So happy Father's Day to you, Chris.
And of course to Lisa, my estranged child.
And Matt, happy Father's Day. You have a cat in the netherworld, right? So
My cat ran away.
Yes.
Norm says he died.
That's well.
Norm's a dad too, isn't he?
Norm's a
Yes.
father.
That's
yes.
right. Wow. So Dan, how's your Father's Day today? You're looking a little, got a little
I'm a little
color.
rushed a
And by the way,
little.
don't adjust your computers. This is actually
Is that
a
Rhode
sunburn.
Island sunburn?
That is
that
a
what
Rhode
that is?
Island sunburn. We were down in Providence, Rhode Island for almost, I'd say 10 or 11 hours yesterday. It was insane.
This is
But
probably
it was good insane.
This is the first time I've ever been late for Verbal Ejaculation. I think it has been. I'm pulling a Stephen James Blake. Being late for the
you-
show.
No,
much
there's
too
been-
early to be here.
No, that's true. I should have
Yeah.
just waited until
And I'm sure
like,
there's
10
been
o'clock.
other times that you've come in late? Or
I've never
I've
been
come in
late for verbal ejaculation.
Not in a hell of a long time.
No.
No, but never, like, I've never shown up during the show while it's been on. You know what I mean? I've either never come on the
Yeah.
show.
I'm not gonna go back through 82 episodes.
No, but I've
to
never
find
come. I've
out.
never come on the show while it's been aired.
I think you're right.
Because I've either never been on the show, and I've called in when I've been ill or whatever. But no,
Yes,
this
yes.
is like this is the first time I've ever been late to a verbal ejaculation. So.
Verbal ejaculation.
Where's
No,
your
I-
nephew? Chris was all excited.
I know. I need your nephew here.
Oh,
Right here.
right, 'cause I was with
right
Sam.
here.
Well, that's. I mean, I just literally just came back from another tense family situation was
Oh.
going on today. That's why I was up there.
Really?
Can't really talk about it because announcements
Oh,
aren't
I'm
going
all
to be made
curious
until
now.
announcements aren't going to be made until next week. So
Announcements?
there's major announcements in my family that have been kept secret for many months.
Is it
So-
the same secret that I held from my family?
No,
Are
no,
you-
no, no, no,
Are you
no.
coming out,
No,
Dan?
no, no,
Are you
no, no.
finally coming out?
No.
Is
No.
your entire family converting to Islam?
Yeah, we're going to be Muslim and
I suspected as much.
Assalamu alaikum is all I got to say right now. Is all I'm going to say for the
Alright.
hints.
Oh,
Salaikum assalam.
and Matt in the chat room, welcome. We missed you.
So,
we haven't seen you in the chat room for a long time.
No, so I've just been dealing with a very tense. Like when Matt
Well,
saw me
speaking of
earlier.
tense.
When Matt saw me earlier, it was actually the least tense moment. But the reason I was with Sam is to kind of diffuse a situation. So I was kind of getting.
Is Sam
yeah.
in trouble with the law?
No.
Is Sam
No,
gay?
no,
Oh,
no,
oh.
no.
Say hi, Sam.
Sam was secretly revealing to me some secret crushes on you, Chris, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. So, he he didn't know.
Hi,
He
Sam.
didn't know what to do. No, it
See, I'm tense right now with sitting next to you.
So
Actually,
I,
my
you know,
pants are tense right now. Sitting
it
next
was
to you.
well you should
I
see
hope
you
so.
should see what I'm wearing next week because you'll be really excited.
Oh, my.
It's
Nice.
this is
See,
a lot
this
of
is what happens when I
a
go
lot
to
of
Pride.
tension.
I have a lot of this sexual tension.
a lot of tension. But the
And
no,
you're not immune from it either. There.
I understand.
but
And
hairy
then-
chest.
and we don't have Scott Perry here to
Horses
kind of
blind.
relieve some of that tension
No,
like
I
last
believe
week.
he is. At least I'm hoping he's watching. I've been texting him most of the day today. So if you're watching, Scott, hello. Don't forget the chat room is open. We're up to 5 current views, and at least 3 of us are here in the room right now.
But yeah,
I'm not in the chat room.
Oh wow,
I'm not
that's
one of them.
I like
wow,
that then.
Wow, and I
And
haven't
you're not
logged
loaded
in
in yet,
No,
so it's me and I think Glenn counts.
Glenn never counts.
So there's 3 actual people that are watching that
Wow.
are out there watching us live. Hello, if one of you is Amsterdam, you're dead to me.
What did Amsterdam do? I must have missed.
Oh, they at the end of the show that preceded us, Ryan was about to give us a shout out, and Peter played music on top of it just to be an asshole.
I see.
You son of a bitch. But if you are tuning in just from coming in from the Peter White Show, thank you very much for staying on. Again, you can give us a call, 978-702-9952, or you can email us during the week, ve@ipnnation.com. So, I just have to ask, are more riots going to break out in LA today? Because I heard the police beat Rodney King to death. Is that accurate?
Are you
I saw
serious?
something about Rodney King. I didn't
died.
read what it was.
Yeah, he drowned in the pool.
I
he
know.
died in the
Okay.
pool, but
Am I
but,
mixing up my
but the
facts?
man did it. I heard a cop was one that kind of slipped
Yeah.
him in the pool. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
Is that
Can't
I
we-
heard. I heard it was William Shatner.
was it Shatner? Did Shatner? Oh, I heard it was Tommy Lee.
Only a few people would understand.
Wasn't it Tommy
Yeah.
Lee? I thought it was Tommy Lee.
Could have been
That's
Tommy
it,
Lee.
Yeah.
Guys,
But-
can't we all just swim without drowning?
I think we can.
It could be Robert Wagner
Hmm?
or
Maybe.
Walken.
I think it was Walken.
I think it was Walken
I still
too.
This
Wait,
day, I think
Christopher
it was
Walken?
Walken.
I don't know
It was
that
Walken.
reference.
Natalie Wood.
He was on the boat with Robert Wagner.
There's
when
there's
Natalie
been there's
was-
been there's
Oh,
been
right,
speculation
okay.
with the whole Natalie Wood murder, or I'm sorry, she wasn't murdered because that never was proved. That it was either Robert Wagner or Christopher Walken because they were both on the boat at
Because
the
they
time.
reopened this within the
Because
past year.
and
they
and
reopened
the, and the
case.
skipper of the boat has even said that he still thinks it might have been because supposedly Natalie Wood was having an affair with Christopher Walken.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why Robert Wagner supposedly killed her.
Well, see,
But
bitches need to
because Walken and Wagner were having a fight, there was like this whole thing. So there's a lot of speculation.
We'll find it later.
Who knows? Who really knows? Really, honestly.
Maybe Rodney King knew something about it.
I think that's
Christopher
it.
Walken had him drowned.
Probably.
Right,
He
good.
probably found the evidence.
It'll come out. Either that or maybe
See, I heard Cato Kalin was actually living in his guest house, so maybe it was him.
Cato's got to be somewhere.
Mhm.
Where is Cato now?
I think he's dating Casey Anthony. All right, we're really mixing up our
We're
cultural
really
references
we're
here.
getting really into it. I don't.
Yes.
You know. I heard Casey Anthony was like
I'm not saying Casey
addicted
Anthony
to.
did it. I'm just saying I understand. I hang around kids that I can understand.
There was some testimony during the trial that suggested that the kid was kind of annoying.
That was the
Kaylee?
suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was her fault.
Well, you know,
Wow.
bitches got to get out and have some fun sometimes.
Bitches gotta get out. And
You know, they got to get out and get the drink on, and why not? I mean, if they got to get out and get the drink on, why not?
And
You
Matt
know,
in the chat room is following along with every reference that we're
yeah,
making.
why
Yeah.
not? You know,
We're just pulling them all out of our ass right now.
if you know, if you got to have a little alcohol in your system, if you got to go, mac on some men, why not? Just
Blame it on the alcohol.
just duct tape the little
Alcohol.
bastard. That's all I got to say. Duct tape him. Just duct
And
tape
I
the
blame
little.
Jamie Foxx for getting that song stuck in my
I
head.
hate that song.
Yeah.
And because of it, I hate Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
I hate you, Jamie Foxx.
Good
And
video though. A lot of
Was
cameos.
it
in
Jamie
that
Foxx that killed Rodney King? Maybe that's
Could've
what it
been.
is. Maybe
Black
that's
on
it.
black crime.
Maybe
is,
that's
one. Probably
huge.
so that Jamie Foxx could play him in an autobiography movie or
That's a
biography.
cagey move right there. That's,
Mm.
Why do you think Ray Charles? Just saying.
Mm.
Mysterious death.
You're talking about that movie Super Ray, greatest superhero movie ever
I
made.
think Ray Charles drowned Shatner's wife.
Mm. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of conspiracy theories going
Gonna
around.
start posting this shit on Facebook and people will be like, "What?
What the hell's
What
going
the
on?
fuck are you guys talking
Mm.
Well,
about?"
I was actually serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So rumor
Conspiracy theorists, right
well,
here.
I read it online, so I know it's probably true.
Yep.
Like you can't post it if it's not true.
That's-
Absolutely not.
It's on that interweb.
On the interwebs. So you're not going to share anything with it. Our audience is sitting there on the edge of their seats.
What about the family thing? I can't. It was a lot of internal tension. It's not nothing to do with my mother's situation. This was a totally different situation. So it's like there's two different situations going on. I have the situation with my mother and her crazy neighbor that I'm dealing with.
Right.
And then this is another situation that involves my brother. So it's just a different situation that I had to be there to kind of be support today, and the support turned into kind of being counseling, like kind of and almost being a mediator, and also.
Is your brother
just-
on drugs?
No.
I'm still going with Sam as gay.
No. You can hold on to that dream.
Okay.
You can hold on that. But the.
I'm sure he holds on with both hands.
Yes, he does. But the both hands and but it's just it's one of those things where it's been my brother's health has been in disarray. Like my brother hasn't been doing well.
Oh,
My
really?
brother has been. There's been a lot of major issues going on with my brother where he's been, and his health care is not the greatest because of being a minister. He doesn't really have the best health care, and
United?
I don't think it's that. It's even worse than theirs. But it's one of those things where he's the type of person, because he has horrible health care, he can't really get the help he needs because he doesn't want to go and spend all the money on
yeah.
So he's very stubborn when you try to take him to a doctor and stuff, because he goes to a doctor and it's like, oh, I'll be fine. I'll go home and just take some Robitussin.
Yeah.
I'll just,
Robitussin.
I have,
Robitussin works
I have,
really good.
I'm on the verge of having a heart attack or a stroke. Oh, I'll just take some of this Dollar Tree Robitussin. I'll be cured. Don't worry, doc. That's his mentality. He's very stubborn, and he holds a lot of, we have a tendency of holding everything in our family. Like we'll hold it in, and then we'll just kind of do a random musings and let it all out. You know what I mean? So
Your brother needs a random
he needs a random
This is becoming.
musings.
I see now. I'm sorry I asked because this seems to be a very serious moment.
No. But it just I'm not going to reveal because he is making a major announcement. I can't say anything. Just if there is anybody listening, it can't get out until next week.
Got
is
it.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I was up there for a certain reason today. It's good news, but the good news turned into bad news.
Okay.
Because certain people don't. It's one of those things where it's like it's becoming an issue that shouldn't be an issue type of, if that makes sense. And to be as cryptic as I can without revealing any information. It's like if you win the lottery, but you win the lottery and somebody tells you, oh, you just won $1 million, but you owe $2 million in taxes.
Right.
It's that type of thing where you're kind of like, you got great news, but there's always going to be that negative person there to add all this negativity to it.
The Debbie Downer.
Yeah, and it was that type of situation.
I just won $1 million. Oh yeah, but you still owe me $500,000. Don't you remember that?
Kind of like that type of situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Um,
I just won the lottery. Ooh, Are you sure that's a good
Like,
thing?
oh, this can make your health better, but I think it's going to kill you before you get like that type of mentality.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on your deathbed now. This good news is going to make you so much better, but I think you're going to be worse. So you're probably going to die before you see. It's that type of. So I've been dealing with that. Left before like I was like, oh, I got the show tonight. I got to get going, and it was just been one of those like, kind of taking parts of my family bit by bit today, and just kind of taking each person aside and being the good listener, as well as the let me interject my feelings, and being the person that was there today to kind of be like, okay, out of everybody involved, I've known him the longest. Here's what I can give you for my piece of information. I've known this person for 40 years. Here's what I can give you my opinion about. And it was just that type of, like just being my brother, just talking about my brother and being the brother and saying, and I was, my sister came up. It was one of those things where we were just kind of like, it was siblings bonding together and dealing with a situation that's a sibling-based situation that we're looking at my brother in failing health because of a bad situation that he's been in. And I had a conversation with him yesterday that I think my conversation with him yesterday helped with what happened today, and the good stuff that was happening today was turning into very negative.
Oh.
With people in his family were making a positive very negative.
Yeah.
So
I know the type.
Yeah.
I certainly know the type. Yeah.
And yes, so it was me trying to deal and trying to diffuse the situation and spending time with, like, especially like Sam, who I thought was going to be a very avid supporter, was not a supporter of what happened today. So it was kind of like I had to have some one-on-one time with Sam to kind of figure out why he was so negative towards what was going on today, and we kind of had to dish it out a little bit between him and I, and then I had to move on today with other members of the family. But it was just. It's going to be one of those things, and a lot of what's going on with my family has caused a lot of my internal issues myself, with my stress, with my just a lot of stuff that's been going on with me. And
Yeah.
it's just so it just
Stuff that you don't need in your life.
It just builds on. It just builds on. It builds on.
Unnecessary stress.
So it makes me a powder keg. It makes me a wreck. It makes me not want to deal with anything. And so because it's now. I'm dealing with issues with my mother, issues with my brother. So there's a lot of stress that's going on, and I feel kind of like I'm here in Manchester, they're all up north. So it's not like I'm 5 minutes away, I'm 45 minutes to an hour away or whatever, and it's just one of those, it's not the convenience of being able to go and,
I'm in a similar situation.
Well, you,
if
yeah,
anything
with your
happens
family in
my they're down
Burlington,
in
yeah,
Massachusetts.
yeah.
So.
So you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I'm sorry things are going.
Or like, well, Matt, your mother's in Chicago, so if you had, but you hate your mother, so you detest her. You've said that so many times in the air.
Yeah.
But how much you hate your mother, and you have those posters of her, those anti-mother posters.
No, but I do.
Yeah,
think,
but he has the naked pictures of my mother.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Everybody loves,
Yes.
Where you're
Yes.
sexually assaulted.
Everybody loves Mama
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
but
It's true. And
But you know what I'm saying. Your mother's far away. It's not like you can jump on a plane right now in the next 5 minutes
Right,
and go to. She's in Chicago, right? Isn't it, or Michigan? Where is she now?
She's not. She's in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I think my mother had something to do with Natalie Wood's death, and I do
Yeah.
hold that against her.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. Well,
do you have
actually,
anything to do with Rodney King?
that's
Was
what
she
I
in
heard.
LA at any point recently?
No, I think Dan is actually trying to tell.
see,
us.
that's why I'm saying the announcement can't be made till next
I think-
week
I think
because the Rodney King body is still warm.
I think his brother.
Got it.
His
That's,
brother drowned Rodney
Okay,
King.
I see.
That's
I
what it
think
is.
what happened is Dan's brother was trying to baptize Rodney King.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
accidentally
Something
drowned
happened.
Trying to save him
Hey,
and actually
accidents
yeah,
happen.
That's why I'm saying positives and negatives.
Yes.
Rodney King becoming born again was a positive, but the negative was the son of a bitch drowned.
Right.
You
That's
know,
why.
He took too much of the Jesus juice.
That's why they
That
say
was the,
Jesus saves, except
yeah.
in cases where you accidentally die.
Or if you're, he doesn't
I
save
heard-
all the black ones.
I heard
Oh, no,
Jesus
no, of
saves
course not.
sinners and redeems them for cash and prizes.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
tickets in an arcade,
Yeah.
but not all the black ones. Well, hey,
That's true.
it wasn't until 1978 that one denomination didn't accept blacks as people. So hey,
Oh, Mormons?
Mormons, God bless them.
Well, you know, Mitt Romney does claim he pulled over and wept openly when he heard the news on the radio.
Yes.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were sad that day.
Because obviously in Utah, that's all they talk about on the radio.
They
Yeah.
do.
Mormonism.
Well, that's all they talk about.
I have to say, talking about sibling bonding and,
Mhm.
and negativity, next weekend I'll be taking a trip to New York because my sister's flying up to spend a weekend. They're doing a ladies' weekend in my family.
A
and
ladies' weekend.
Ladies, and of course I'm the honorary lady.
Yeah.
Hi. And I mean, of course, she's going to be 4 hours away as opposed to a flight down to Atlanta.
Mhm.
Of course, I'm going to make the trip down to see her. If she's only 3 states away, I'm going to make the trip up to see her. And my mother today, while I was visiting for Father's Day, says to me, "Well, but we're going to be doing so many things. We're not going to see you." I'm like, "Really?
Wow.
Really?"
Wow.
Huh.
We're gonna be a little bit too busy for you.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Yeah.
And not that apparently there's no such thing as an app where I can find my sister at any time.
Yeah,
No.
no.
There's nothing like that.
You should invent that. You
My
make a lot
mother's
of
cell
money.
phone still has roaming
Yeah.
charges.
Yeah.
That's how
Wow.
old hers is.
Wow. Yeah, there's
But
not gonna be time.
that's my negative Nelly there. Just we're just not gonna have time. Really? Really? Yeah. So mine is not nearly as depressing.
Like, we don't have time for your kind.
Yeah.
Is what she was kind of saying. That's
My
what it
my mother attempted to use the internet today to find out if the hotel that they're staying at has a smoking section. It's like,
Is there
really?
still any of those around?
There's
Can you-
not,
can
there's
you
not
find
even
a
a
hotel?
lounge in a hotel in New York City or Boston
No.
or Manchester where you can go and
No.
have a cigarette.
Well, New York has outlawed any beverage over 16 ounces
Yeah.
that has sugar in it now, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, yeah. I think
It's just like,
coming
really?
soon, New York is going to outlaw red meat. I think that's the next step. You're not going to be able to go into
Yeah.
any restaurant and get red meat or hamburgers. Like New York, I think is the epitome of the new wave of communism in this country.
I just have to ask, is this the theme song to Mannequin?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Starship,
And
Yes.
and
which was once Jefferson Airplane, then Jefferson Starship, then they dropped the Jefferson and it just became Starship.
because you had
So
only
they went
one
from
because you had only one original member at that point,
Yeah.
I think,
Well,
right?
Paul Kantner left the band, and he
Yeah.
owned the
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Yeah, on the
part of
Jefferson
name.
part.
But they
he
went
was
from-
smart. He
they-
kept the Jefferson part.
Yeah, that was because they went.
But
from-
who owned airplanes? Because somebody owned airplane because
I think at the
airplane went
time
away.
I think it was
So-
it was Pan Am
Wright
at the time,
brothers.
and when they
You
went
know?
bankrupt. But so they went from Go Ask Alice to this to We Can Make Our Dreams Together. Well, that's
Well,
the progression.
you can't
of-
forget the biggest hit, "We Built the City," though. I mean that's
Oh,
what
no,
put
I
them
can
on-
forget it.
That's what put them back on the map.
I was
though.
actually
That's
very
what-
upset that the Muppets used it
You
in
know,
their film.
but that's what brought them like into the like that people were forgetting who they were, and
They
then
were
that song
Starship at
became
that
that. Yeah,
point,
but
yeah.
that song
They were-
became such
yeah,
a
they were
huge hit for
Jefferson
them.
Starship, and then this came out as Starship.
Yeah,
It's-
Kantner wouldn't have.
Office.
No.
No.
Well, I think was this even on the same album as that, or was this after the We Built the City? Wasn't that on the same?
No, this isn't on. No, this isn't on that.
Is this soundtrack only, maybe?
I
or
think
is
this
it-
is only on that
Yeah.
soundtrack.
But
Yes.
that was kind of like with Starship. Yeah, that's kind of people were like, hey, who's this new group? Like they're great.
Yeah.
We did build this city. We did. But speaking of We Built the City, though, let's get on a lighter note. I have admitted,
Okay.
and Matt's probably going to disown any friendship in me. I still haven't seen Rock of Ages, and I want to see Rock of Ages.
I haven't seen it yet either.
All right, but do you have any interest in seeing that movie? Do you think
Yes.
that is a good movie?
I would like to.
Because
see
I
it.
had mentioned it to Sam today, and Sam looked at me like I'm a son of a bitch. Because he's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, you
Really?
want to? I mean, because I think that to me,
It's I think it got a C in Entertainment Weekly, so
Did it?
critics are
I
not
thought they-
loving it.
'cause Rolling
but
Stone gave
the
it a
gays
higher
love it.
rating.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Penn.
well, it's a
sent me
Broadway
text
musical,
saying he
so of
loved
course
it.
it's going to be
Yeah.
like, but
I'll see it for the cast.
Yeah.
I will definitely see it for the cast.
but I mean, I'm not a big musicals fan. Like I actually, I
You?
admittedly,
No.
but I love Grease. I admittedly love Grease. I love the musical Grease. I always have. I also, I'm trying to think of the other musical I really love. There's another musical that I actually.
I like the ones that-
Grease 2. I love Grease 2.
Grease
the
2 was
musical.
better than
That's-
Grease. Absolutely
I
better
waited
than
for
Grease.
Grease 3. I waited for
I
that
like
one.
the ones that made the mainstream movies. Like I love Grease. I love Little Shop of Horrors.
No, I love Little Shop of Horrors,
That was
yes,
a good
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I love Chicago. I thought they
I'm
did a
not a
great job with
Chicago
that
fan.
film. Some of the songs are better than others. Like there's some songs that Just you
But-
could have done the film without them.
Like I got the Rock of Ages soundtrack, and
Of
to
course
hear
you did.
Tom Cruise sing like Paradise City, to hear him sing like Wanted Dead or Alive, I mean. They did some doctoring of his voice, of course. I mean, he does kind of have a little auto-tune in there, but it's not that bad. He actually does a good job. And I've seen a lot of the previews. I've seen clips from the movie. I actually am excited to see the film. I want to go out and see the movie. I was, if there wasn't so much tension today and a lot of the issues going on today, I was actually trying to drag Sam to go see the movie today. He did not want to have anything to do with the movie. He was like, I don't want to go see that piece of crap movie. It wasn't good. And
I'll
I'm
go
like,
see it.
but people in the rock and roll and metal community are slamming this movie, saying how atrociously bad is it. But don't people understand that this is actually bringing that music back?
Yeah.
In a sense, because it is kind of like you are going to have a crowd of people that maybe weren't really big into that hair metal decade,
Right.
which is arguably my favorite type of music, as everybody knows. I love that shit, right? And it's like people are going to go to that movie who were not maybe fans of Poison or Def Leppard or groups like that. And they're going to go out and maybe buy the original artist. They may not buy the Tom Cruise version of a song. So that may increase downloads. That may increase if people are buying CDs anymore. You know what I mean? It may increase sales of the albums. It may help touring because you do have a lot of these bands out there touring right now. I mean, they're
And I know you're not going to agree with this or give any credit towards this, but the same can be said about Glee. That Glee brought back some of the music that people have.
No, I agree with you on that. I agree. I will agree with you 100% on that. Glee helped Journey. Glee, I mean, because that was one of the first things that helped give Journey a kick in the ass, because they had covered was it Any Way You Want It or what? Glee had done one of the Journey songs. There's Don't Stop Believing.
The pilot episode was Don't Stop.
Yeah,
Believing.
Don't Stop Believing, and that became a huge download. The Glee version was Don't Stop Believing. I know iTunes, it was like the #1 download for the longest time, the Glee version of it. And that did bring in, like, for people that were kind of like shunning Journey, it did boost Journey's sales in high schools, which you wouldn't see a couple of years ago. Like, people in high school wouldn't be like, people were like, who the fuck is Journey? Like, nobody's buying Journey t-shirts, nobody's listening to Journey. And that did give them a little bit of a little bit of an injection in the arm of, hey, we're giving a little bit more to Journey sales. So I will give Glee credit, I do. I think it's an atrocious. I think it's an atrociously bad show. I can't sit through the show. As I said, I've only watched the Lady Gaga Kiss episode, and I sat there and tore that episode apart because it was such bad writing and they got everything wrong in that episode. Yeah.
What could you be speaking of about a show where teenagers break into song in the middle of a classroom?
But I
How
mean,
dare you?
I liked Cop Rock better. Cop Rock was a better show that had like musical numbers.
Are there still episodes available out there? I'm sure there's gotta be.
Somebody's got to have Cop Rock somewhere,
It
but
must
I
be
mean,
on YouTube, right?
it should be. Somebody has to have.
Even if it's their camcorder sitting in front of a television.
Yeah, but even that. Remember that horribly bad Hugh Jackman show that was on for 2 episodes that got canceled? That was a
Viva
musical.
Laughlin?
Yeah, I loved that show, which was atrociously bad, and everybody would kick into song. I don't know if you ever saw any of that, Matt.
I know the
It
one
lasted
episode
for
I
like.
saw, people were. It was the actual song with people singing over it. Like right now, we've got the loudspeaker above us.
Yeah.
It's if we started to sing along with it. It wasn't.
It
like-
was a regular show that like
There was some guy singing George Michael's song, and they were actually playing the George Michael song. You could hear George Michael singing in the
they
background.
would just
the
sing
guy was
over the
singing over
songs.
it.
But it was weird because the show, like I want to say it took place in Vegas or something. It was about like
Yeah, it was like Laughlin, Nevada, which
Yeah.
is a Vegas type.
it was like a crime drama type of show that all of a sudden they would randomly start singing musical numbers during the show. It was kind of like Cop Rock. It was kind of like that thing where just people started just like it failed because of just the premise of the show was just it didn't, nobody could relate to it.
No.
Because it was trying to make a musical into a drama show. I actually loved it. I mean, I watched the 2 or 3 episodes that ever aired, and then I think CBS or whoever had it just canned the thing immediately
Yeah.
because it had no viewers. I think it had me and maybe Chris for that one episode. But it was
And poor Hugh Jackman. We'll never do TV again.
no, he'll never do TV again. But he was doing musicals because he was doing the Peter Allen musical
Yeah,
on
the
Broadway or or whatever. And it was like, and they hire him for the show, and I think it was Melanie Griffith, some other
Melanie
big star
Griffith
was in it. Yeah,
yes.
it was like some other big star was
Did
in
she
it.
sing? I believe she did.
And it was,
Oh.
I liked the show, and I shouldn't admit it, but I mean, I actually liked the show. But I mean, I also liked Manimal, and Manimal was considered one of the worst shows ever made too. And I did. I used to like the show Manimal, and I mean that's the one that everybody jokes about. Manimal lasted a season. Yeah, it lasted like about 12 episodes, which you could classify, in HBO terms, it's a season. But
That's true.
Yeah, and and I liked that show Automan, which lasted a season too. With that came out after Tron. It was like kind of like a version of Tron that ABC had. But no, but I
Not a clue.
You don't remember Automan?
Whatsoever.
Automan like had everything had if you remember the first movie Tron, how they did that where everybody had the blue lights around and everything. Yeah. Automan was sort of like Tron, like everything had the animated blue lights around everything, and it was I want to say Desi Arnaz Jr. or whatever was in it. It was a show on ABC, but it was called Automan, and it was.
And that was before Disney bought ABC too, right?
Oh yeah, this was before Disney bought ABC, and this was a
Automan.
Yeah, it was an old TV show, and I think that's on like Hulu or YouTube though. Yeah, the Automan TV series right there.
It looks like he's quantum leaping.
Yeah, it was a.
The guy who played Predator. Really? What?
It was just a really weird. Like it tried to be like a high-tech, like computer animated, like.
This show is so bad that even YouTube can't play it. Oh, there it is.
But see, he looked like the guy from Tron. He had like the whole like. And it was like Desi Arnaz Jr.'s a cop, and it was like, but I remember watching it. I watched it every night it was on, but he did. He was like a.
All right. Oh, and Matt in the chat room has watched it too, and I have to say, looking at the opening credit, that does vaguely look familiar.
Yeah, you had to have seen it at one time. Yeah. And I mean, if you've ever seen Manimal, you had to have seen Automan, because they were around the same time, I want to say.
Around the same time as the Fall Guy?
The Fall Guy's a classic. Do not, the Fall Guy was on for like.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad show, but was that around the same time?
Don't go dissing my Lee Majors, all right? I'm still trying to get Lee Majors on this show.
Misfits of Science was around that time, right?
Misfits of Science, yes, I remember that show too.
Rex Smith was on, the one who was in Pirates of Penzance. What did he do? Was
Rex
he in the Fall
Smith?
Guy as well?
No, he wasn't in the Fall Guy. Rex Smith. I'm trying to remember what he was in. Was he in the Renegades? Because that was another one of my all-time favorite shows, The Renegades.
I think Rex Smith was probably one of my first crushes when I was growing up.
Because that was a TV show that I loved, and I also loved that show. Was it Riptide?
I remember Riptide.
When they had the boat or whatever that was.
Season, I think.
Yeah,
was he on Riptide? Was that what Rex Smith was on, or was he on?
He was in. I'm gonna find out.
Or Street Hawk.
Street Hawk.
Is that what Rex Smith was in? Street Hawk.
Street Hawk was the one I'm thinking of.
Street Hawk. There it is. I just saw you pass it. Street Hawk. But the Renegades, I'm trying to remember.
All 13 episodes.
All 13
so that was
episodes
another
of the
season.
Because there was another show called The Renegade.
Well, there was Renegade with Lorenzo Lamas.
Yeah, but there was another show called The Renegades or something like that. I'm trying to remember the name, or not the Roustabouts, but it was something
Street
like
Hawk,
that.
Yeah,
he's the motorcycle guy. Yeah. Because that was on too, and that was like they had. And I'm trying to remember the show because the show had like a geeky guy. It was kind of like the A-Team. But it wasn't like it was a low budget version of the A-Team because you had like a geeky guy and you had like some other.
The Renegades TV, 1982. Let's see. In this drama, undercover investigators are recruited from the streets to prevent armed smugglers from getting their weapons to street gangs.
It had Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze, yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Kurtwood Smith.
But it had like
those are the only two names I recognize are Patrick Swayze and Kurtwood Smith. The dad from that 70s show.
Yeah. But I remember watching The Renegades and I loved the show and I remember thinking, oh, this show's gonna be on forever. And I think it only lasted like 6-7 episodes and then it was like.
It's really sad that Matt in the chat room is remembering all these shows as well.
But that's the thing. Those are classic TV shows and it was like, but no, Fall Guy was one of my all-time favorite shows and I'm very upset because they only released like the first season of Fall Guy and they have. I don't know what it is with Lee Majors TV shows because here in the States they have an issue with $6 Million Man and Fall Guy. They can't release past season 1.
Really?
Yeah, $6 Million Man. They're having licensing issues with releasing. They released a box set on Time Life that you can get every single season. You have to pay like $300-400 for it. But like the actual individual sets, for some reason there's some like I don't know if it's music or something, but there's licensing issues.
Is it the same with the Bionic Woman? Or
No, the Bionic Woman, they were able to release those. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, and Fall Guy, I don't know what it is
That's
with
like
Fall
saying
Guy.
Cheers. Cheers is fine. You can buy all the individual seasons, but Frasier, there's some problems.
Frasier, there's some problems. Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense, and it's the same thing. But I think there's conspiracies going around though, because it's like I think maybe because they feel nobody's going to buy this.
Did he kill Farrah Fawcett?
I think he did. I think he did. But I mean, what makes people think that they're going to buy Bionic Woman over the $6 Million Man? Did they do research and decide, okay, if we release all 3 seasons of Bionic Woman, those are going to sell more?
And they sold all 3 seasons of Wonder Woman too individually. Yeah. But so $6 Million Man.
$6 Million Man. You can only buy in a box set of all the seasons or the first season by itself. And it's like, and they're held up. The second season, third season.
Really messed
and the
up.
Fall Guy, same thing. The Fall Guy, they released it 2 ways. They released it as the one season, the first season, or you could buy it individually, season 1, part 1, season 1, part 2. Because I ended up having to buy the first season in 2 parts, which was annoying. But they've never released the other 2 or 3 seasons of it because something's holding it up, licensing-wise, or they feel nobody's going to buy it because nobody buys TV shows on DVD. Nobody's.
Are you kidding me?
No, but people are downloading. People are watching it
I was
on,
gonna say. I mean, the Family Guy DVDs alone from the first 2.5 season was the reason.
That's why they brought it back. But because of modern technology, people are watching them on Netflix, on demand. They're watching them on. They're downloading. Alf, we all remember Alf.
Yeah. How can you forget
Alf? I watched. My father was obsessed
Alien
with
Life
Alf.
Form.
I thought Alf sucked. I never
Gordon
thought,
Shumway.
You
I
never
thought that show was funny.
You never liked it?
I never understood the appeal of Alf.
I liked the fact that on the show the father smoked crack and touched a little boy. It was just great. I thought that was innovative. That was creative. Or was that in real life? I don't remember now.
No, that was not. That was.
I think that was real life.
Was that real life?
He was doing it with Jeffrey Jones.
On a very special Alf. Even when I was a kid, I didn't think Alf was funny. I didn't understand why
my father was obsessed with that show. Like to this day, he talks about Alf because that's one of his memories.
Who lived next door, Mrs. Osmonic.
Mrs. Osmonic.
Who went on to be Jerry Seinfeld's mom.
Yeah. But my father, every time I see my father, he's always like, "Remember watching Alf on like Monday nights?" And I'm like, "That's your memory, Dad?" Of sitting there watching Alf on like,
that's
and then
what you're gonna remember.
Watching Alf and wrestling is what my father remembers, like on TV. Like
top it off with some porn.
You know, you remember we'd watch Alf. Then we'd watch like the WWF or the WCW, whatever was on Monday night, whatever if we would have Raw or Nitro on, whatever one would be on, and then some Cinemax softcore porn. Remember those Monday nights, son, when we'd watch a little Alf? We'd have a little puppet action, some men-on-men bonding with wrestling, and then we'd watch some softcore pussy.
Kristen just texted me. She loved Alf as a kid.
Keep it down, please.
I just don't get it. I never thought Alf was funny.
I loved it. I loved it when I was watching.
I liked it. I loved the show Alf because I like puppets. I always liked puppets. I always had a fascination with puppets. And we never mentioned it, but last Monday I think it was the anniversary of E.T.
We don't have a fascination with Muppets.
Mm-hmm. Entertainment Tonight?
No, the alien puppet, the Spielberg film. I think it was like the 30th anniversary of E.T.
Hated it.
You hated E.T.?
Hated it.
Did you?
You communist.
Hated E.T.
You Nazi.
With a passion.
You Nazi.
Hated that movie.
One of the most...
I'm okay with it now.
Yeah.
You hated it as a child?
I hated it.
Why?
The part at the end when the scientist and the government comes in, and that part just always freaked me out as a kid.
I was going to say, did you have a creepy uncle that looked like that touched you with a long finger? Is that why you didn't like it?
I enjoyed that.
Like, Christopher.
How could I hate E.T.? Watch it.
Did somebody come in with a robe and go, Christopher, welcome to New Hampshire. You came from Burlington, Massachusetts, and now you're here in New Hampshire. Let me give you a probe. Let me phone you home.
Too old for his taste.
Christopher's following my Reese's Pieces. He's following those home. He's following them over here to Queasy.
Oh my!
Yeah, them specially made.
They're specially made. They have cues on them.
He can tempt children and advertise at the same time.
It's for my toddlers and dairies.
Sorry, I Oh,
you need to have these.
I'm not going to hell because I'm gay, like the Christians think. This is why I'm going to hell.
That's why it
is. This type of humor.
It's like, here you go, have my.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt in the chat room. I'm burning red. Yeah. It was a bitch taking a shower this morning.
So E.T. has special. E.T. actually still makes me cry to this day, and it's not the movie that makes me cry. It actually
It makes
brings
me
up,
cry.
It makes me. I have an aunt who passed away many years ago that I actually went and saw that movie with in the theaters, and it when I see that movie, I think of my aunt, and that aunt is what I consider my guardian angel. Like every time I face, like, horrible situations where I've walked away from death and things like that, I always think she's the one that's protecting me and saving me from those. So when I watch E.T., E.T. brings back special memories, and I actually loved the movie. I always did. I loved it. I think it. I hate that abortion that Spielberg re-released.
Oh, where instead of holding guns,
They're holding walkie-talkies,
Yeah.
and they're chasing the kids with walkie-talkies, and they take out the when the kid says you're a penis breath, like they take that out. Like when they edit, and he's not a terrorist when he's out Halloweening, he's like a homeless man or whatever it is. They turn his costume
Really?
into he goes in and he bastardized the movie because he wanted to make it politically correct. So it's like, because I don't know if you remember the original movie, he's a terrorist as his Halloween costume, and it's like, well, we can't do that. Let's make him a homeless guy, and let's make him,
Between him and
let's make
Lucas.
him a gay Asian. That's what we're gonna make him, and let's, and it's
Between
like,
him and Lucas bastardizing their own films.
it was just, and you see like the FBI agents chasing them with walkie-talkies, holding them like guns.
No kidding.
And it's like, we're gonna get you with our walkie-talkies, kids.
Wow.
Bring back that alien. It's like, are you kidding me? Really, you can't have guns? Like, none of the agents have guns.
How does it look? I mean, how do you...
Well, because it was new technology,
It looks odd.
It looks odd, but it's like, he added all these new effects. So the spaceships look nice, and E.T. is now, he's computer animated now, so he's not a puppet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it took away, the computer animation took away the emotion.
Yeah.
Because the puppet actually had, because they designed him to look like Albert Einstein and some other people.
Yeah.
And then he computer animated it, so you don't have the same emotion anymore in the new version.
Wow. Huh.
But when they re-released it on DVD, they had it so you had both versions. You could have the original version, and then you had, like the new version. It wasn't like what Lucas did for a while with Star Wars, where you could only get his new version.
No. That's why you have to save the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Lucas finally came out and released the real versions again, and allowed that for a limited time only. He allowed it, but at least Spielberg said, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll let people choose, and people made the choice. I think they should have made people choose by having them separate. Sell the new version and the old version, and then show that son of a bitch who's going to buy more copies of what.
Right.
But he just put them all in the same package. So when you bought the DVD, you got the original and, so. But I actually went out when that movie got released on DVD, like when it first got released. Because of that, I had to buy like the deluxe special super edition, because it's such an emotional film for me. It's one of my top 10 movies. But it brings a tear to my eyes every time. And it's one of those, like, when he dies, I know he's not really dead, but he dies, I get emotional because I think of my aunt dying, and I think of, like, the last days I saw my aunt in the hospital, and it was watching her wither away and die. So I get emotional during E.T., and I think E.T. is one of the best, one of the very best movies ever made. I think I think after that film, that's when Spielberg just started turning to just shit. Like, I don't think he made a lot of horrible films. And I'm waiting for him to redo Schindler's List, where they don't march into the ovens. I want to see him. I want to see him.
I want to
make
see
it,
Schindler's List in color.
Yeah, I want to see it in color.
So it takes away
and
the
I want a
effect of that
happier
little
ending.
red coat at the end.
Yeah, I want
the
a happy.
Nazis have walkie-talkies.
Yes, I want the Nazis to have walkie-talkies, and I want them to not kill any of the Jews. I want a
and
happier
I want them to be in a
version.
chorus line, and it's just going to be a fabulous production.
Springtime for Hitler. That's
Yes.
what I want them to be doing in that
Yes,
movie.
yes.
I want to write to him and ask him for that, a colorized version of Schindler's List, where all the Jews are happy and singing, and they're
of
all
course-
hugging the Nazis.
And of course, Mel Brooks has to have a cameo in it.
Like, they're all just they're just telling everybody, we love the Nazis, we love them, we love all the Nazis, and just, I think it'd be great.
We got shiny, happy people playing in the end credits.
And the ovens can have them making pretzels. Like making
Pretzels and pizza.
nice, pretzels, pizzas, and they could be opening up like Jewish delis right there in Nazi Germany.
yes.
That would be the best movie I think ever. I think that's what he should do. He should do that. If he's gonna touch like E.T. and because God forbid our police officers and our FBI agents have firearms, because that they shouldn't carry firearms, and children should not see firearms in any way, because soldiers and policemen and FBI agents should not carry guns. We shouldn't. We shouldn't teach children that firearms are available. So, because that, we don't need that for protection. I don't want to get into a nooge, so I'm not gonna
Yes.
not gonna get on my pedestal.
My ears right now cannot handle.
I'm not gonna.
A
Was
nooge
there any
rant.
Nugents at the in Providence over the weekend? Was there anybody?
No, there's-
There's no Nuge get up on the stage.
But Matt can attest to how loud it was. Friday night we were broadcasting from the Shaskeen.
The Shaskeen,
It got
yeah.
loud and crowded.
Now I saw on your posting
I'm still
from
suffering.
from your posting from yesterday though. Frenchie was at the
Frenchie Davis.
Frenchie from American Idol.
I thought it was from the mustard company.
American Idol. Glenn knows. Frenchie's mustard.
Frenchie's mustard.
Frenchie from American Idol. I think that was one of the
Yes.
seasons of American Idol I watched. That's how I recognized Frenchie. Yeah, because I think wasn't that the same season Bo Bice was on and Carrie Underwood. I think that was the same season. I think or maybe she was part of the Lambert season. But I'm trying to remember.
No.
Was she
Carrie
part of that?
Underwood?
No. I'm saying Frenchie when
Oh.
Frenchie was on. No, because I know Carrie Underwood won, so I know it wasn't during
Yeah,
Adam Lambert
right,
because
yeah.
that was Chris Allen won when Adam Lambert won.
Yeah.
But I have a thing I want to find out. I got a used copy of Adam Lambert's live CD.
Mhm.
I paid like $3 for it because everywhere they were selling it for
So
like
somebody
$20.
actually listened to it first.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
probably-
like Adam Lambert.
I do too.
I think he's very talented. I like his music.
I just didn't think something like his live album would be.
It's actually really
popular.
good. It's actually really good, and it was. I always thought it was outrageous because every store I've ever gone into, it's always been like between $19 and $25 because it's a DVD CD
Yeah.
combo. I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen it cheap, and I'm like, why is it that outrageous? Why would people pay this much for this CD? Because it's only like I think 10 tracks. It's not even that long of a live album, and my question is though, there's no parental advisory sticker anywhere on this.
Yeah.
And he's an American Idol or runner-up, right? And he had, the clean-cut image of being an American Idol, even though he was the gay one, But, he wasn't really, he was known to wear outlandish outfits, and he was known to be kind of the gay rocker on American Idol.
Yes.
But he swears like a sailor
Yes.
in his live act. And it's like, and he comes out and he's like, how are all you motherfuckers doing? You motherfuckers, are we ready to fucking rock this motherfucking place? We're gonna fuck it up the ass, right? It's like, that's like, I thought I was listening to, Guns N' Roses for a second.
Right.
I'm wondering, does the Walmart edition of that, because I see that in Walmart all the time, is the Walmart edition edited? Because nowhere on this CD does it say there's any foul language or anything. I wonder if
Strange.
Walmart is that hypocritical, if they don't, if there is a edited version, because there's nowhere marked on in the Walmart edition clean edit or anything.
A parental
I
advisory.
wonder
I wouldn't
because
think Walmart would even carry him. I'm surprised.
well, Walmart does because he's an American Idol. Walmart
Yeah, but he's
carries,
gay.
but Walmart has a lot of.
Did they have Clay Aiken?
They have Clay
Or did
Aiken.
they
They
do?
do. They have Clay
I'm
Aiken.
surprised.
They have George Michael. They
Ricky
have
Martin.
they have Ricky Martin.
Wow.
Because people that shop at Walmart, they don't know that Ricky Martin's gay. They don't know that. They just know he does that Living La Vida, that Mexican tune.
Yeah, and the
They know he plays that little, that tune they hear at
And
Taco Bell.
The
right?
Playmates refuse to believe it.
Yeah, like
oh,
the
he
Playmates.
just don't do it.
No,
Babe,
it's just
that's
no.
all.
He'll change. He just needs a little veg. He'll be all set. Clay Aiken was on that Apprentice show. He looked like he was going to do some women.
We all need a little badge in our lives.
But no,
Really?
they do. Walmart has a lot of. Well, Walmart has Bieber and Glee posters everywhere. Of course, they support homosexuality.
Yeah.
Come on.
They do. They support Glee.
They do. They have nothing but Glee when you walk into Walmart.
Cleaver?
Everywhere you go.
Mix the two of them together.
Cleaver. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
They have everywhere you turn is something to do with Justin Bieber and Glee in Walmart. So I mean they're Walmart's smart enough that they appeal to what people are buying.
Right.
So if people are buying, an Adam Lambert or Clay Aiken, I don't think anybody's buying Clay Aiken, but I mean if people are buying Adam Lambert, because I think Clay Aiken all he's releasing is standards, right? I think he's just doing is he doing
I think so.
Sinatra tunes
I
now?
don't
or
think he's
something?
done an
Yeah.
original in
Yeah,
a while.
but he's
and
doing.
he swears like a sailor too from
Yeah.
Celebrity
From Celebrity Apprentice. I actually respect Clay Aiken now from
Yeah.
watching Celebrity Apprentice. I've become a Clay Aiken fan from that show.
I want to see Arsenio reboot his show with
Yep.
Clay as his
Paul
his
Schaefer,
Kevin.
like his
Yeah,
sidekick.
Yeah.
Why?
You
didn't watch any of Celebrity
No,
Apprentice,
no.
did you?
They worked very well together.
They made a great partnership together.
to the point where they were the final two contestants at the very
Oh,
end.
And Clay Aiken, apart from his hair, which reminded me of one of those troll dolls because
Yeah.
his hair just was always weird.
Yeah, and the fact that his face kind of looks like he's wearing a Clay Aiken mask.
Yeah, his
Hard
face
to
was.
explain.
It was
It's
very
just-
hard to explain. But I never liked Clay Aiken, and I didn't. That season of American Idol, I hate American Idol because I think it's a farce. I think it's fixed. I think it's just. I don't think there's any real talent. The only talent Carrie Underwood I think is talented.
Yeah.
I do think. I think Adam Lambert's talented. I think Adam Lambert should have won that year. I think he lost because he's gay. I really honestly do. And I think he lost because he's
Middle
gay.
America votes.
I think he lost because he's gay, and I think he lost because of the fact that he wasn't afraid to go out there and play rock music, do his own style of songs and dress.
Yeah.
People were scared of that.
It ultimately doesn't matter.
No, because he ended up.
I mean,
having-
Daughtry, the year that he was on, he came in like, what, 4th or something?
and he's got a
And
career.
He's hugely
But he
successful.
sucks. He is so horrible.
But he's
though.
like Nickelback light.
And it drives me
that's-
crazy
that's
that
not a
people are buying
compromise.
into him. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
that drives me crazy. That the
Yeah.
music
Oh,
industry.
he's huge.
That he's
one of the
oh,
most successful of all of them.
He's like, oh, he is, and people go crazy.
Yeah.
Like the minute you announce, I think he's coming up here or he's going to like Club Casino or something, and like the minute that show announced, all these people are like, oh my God, I need to get my Daltrey tickets before they sell out. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, Daltrey? Really? Daltrey? Like, really? Not Roger Daltrey, not from the Who, right? Daughtry, right? Daughtry, right?
Daughtry,
Yeah.
It sounds like you're saying Dollar Tree.
Yeah,
really.
Dollar Tree. You need to go to the Dollar Tree. What? But this, it's. I can't sit through like 40 seconds of any of his songs.
Yeah.
Even when he was even like I'd try to, but I think American Idol's fixed, and I like Kelly Clarkson. I didn't think had any talent.
Oh, I disagree.
I
don't
didn't
like
think
her
she did.
material, but I think she's a
I
good
don't
singer.
think she had talent when she was on that show. I think that Justin kid, he was so much better than.
Oh, Justin
Yeah, yeah.
Guarini.
Oh, yeah.
You know who's completely overlooked was Sanjaya.
Sanjaya
Sanjaya
was a
was
shoo-in.
an idol. He was an icon.
I had that once. I had to get a shot.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about the same thing?
Sanjaya. I had a little
Yay.
case of Sanjaya. I think he's got a little bite in him. I think he's
Yeah.
got a little Glenn Ouellette in him. One of those. Like he's got a little
my.
bit of that.
Oh, my.
He's got a little bit of that. But no, I just with American Idol,
Keeping my comments.
there was the year. Well, the year that Carrie Underwood won. Like the runner-up was Bo Bice. I thought Bo Bice had a ton of talent,
Yeah.
and all his CDs are at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, they
Every
ruined
single
him.
one of them.
Yeah, and he went to Broadway. He was in the Rock of Ages.
Was Bo Bice? Because
Yeah.
I know
Constantine was in it,
Constantina
and
was in
Bo
there.
Bice
Yeah,
was as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Oh, you pissed off Glenn.
I did. That's a nice shirt,
Leaving.
by the way. Did that get on camera? That shirt? 'Cause
I
that-
love the.
Thank you.
That is. I love that shirt.
I love the
think
Jesus
that's a
holding
great
the
shirt.
sword.
Is that what's on the shirt?
Yep,
Jesus holding the
it's
sword.
Jesus holding the sword.
I didn't even
That's why
notice
we're in
that.
church.
I thought it was a frog at first. I was like, I saw like this green
And
thing.
some
and
tape. He puts
I
tape
thought-
on it. It's
oh,
great.
I thought it was great.
He put tape
But
on the windows too.
Did he wear that at the gay pride?
These very fragile windows.
Yes. Well, well, he told me that we're in a. We're
No,
in a
gay
tent.
pride. He was dressed like a gay referee.
I saw like a
'Cause
rainbow stripe type
he had
of.
he had the pastel green, black, pastel pink, like it was a stripe. It was the referee striped shirt, but gay referee striped shirt.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm in hell. We're in an elevator right now.
Is this
That's where
light
we are.
hits? Are we on the serious light hits channel, or is the, you know? But no, I about the American Idol though. I think a lot of people, you know, because you have to dial in to vote, and I think there's a lot of those machines that are tied into like and I think there's a lot of like because there's not really a talent. Like you could if you have somebody that you've already predetermined as the winner, that's who can be the winner.
Yeah.
Because it's just dialing in and text messaging, and I think you can have it set up, and I think they limit you now
And
to
that's
10.
that's how Sanjaya kept making it.
Well, Sanjaya,
And even
Stern.
the judges were like, seriously.
Well, no, because Stern was keeping like the Stern network and Stern fans was keeping Sanjaya in there.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a whole thing that every day when you listen to Stern, you would have. Like, he would sit there and tell everybody, oh, we have to keep voting for Sanjaya. We have to keep voting for Sanjaya. We got to keep this guy in because he's atrociously bad. We have to show American Idol how horrible the show is by keeping Sanjaya in.
Sanjaya.
And I think Sanjaya, I think he's writing, like, motivational books now or
Probably.
something.
I
Like-
did say I caught him on that one season of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember he
Yeah.
was on that, but I never watched it. So I have to see. So it is Jesus? That's what's on the shirt?
Yep.
Or is that
Jesus
one of the
holding a
Street
sword.
Fighters? Is that a Dragonfly shirt?
Jesus
That is
will
a
end
Dragonfly?
you.
Hmm? I didn't think Dragonfly was still making shirts. I used to buy a lot of Dragonfly shirts.
Is that store still around?
Dragonfly. Do they even have a store? Dragonfly store? Because I know during Bike Week they'd have like a little like kiosk, a Dragonfly kiosk when you go up to Bike Week. And,
I'm so glad that's done.
You know, you can let it. Huh? They have a Dragonfly store in New Orleans. Oh.
Nolans.
In Nolans, huh?
Matt, that's not really helping Matt in the chat room. All those shows that do America Votes limit 10 votes per voting method. Yeah, that's not helping the situation.
No, because you still, I mean, because it's...
Because you can still do 10 votes for
But
somebody
you could do
who sucks.
10 votes, but if you have 10 votes per person, you can have multiple machines or multiple computers. You could still have it rigged. There's ways of getting around it. And I think you can even rig the show. Like how do you know that those are actually phone calls getting in? How do you know that Fox Network doesn't have it predetermined that, okay, this year we're going to have, I mean, who won this year? I don't even know, like, because I don't follow it.
I have no clue
You know,
whatsoever.
Some young kid, because
Not even a little bit.
Because it doesn't even matter, because you know the first, like, 5 whatevers, they're going to get record contracts anyway, because people are going to go and say, hey, I remember that person from, because I was looking at Walmart the other day, and there was, like, some hot little redheaded girl, like, country singer, that's got like a mini dress on, and she's showing like next to nothing, and it's like, oh yeah, she's like the 18th runner-up on American. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that girl.
So that girl, okay. So she's got an album out, but
I was just reminded me, like that the roast of Charlie Sheen. They had that Amy, what's her name, who apparently was like a 10th runner-up on
Last Comic Standing or
Last
something.
Comic Standing. Yeah, that's her claim to
Yeah,
fame. So
yeah.
that's who's on your dais for.
You know,
Charlie
speaking
Sheen.
of like 18th runner-ups of when I was heading over here tonight, I drove by the Dairyfield Country Club. Leaving Eden is going to be at the Dairyfield Country Club on
Your
their
favorite band?
yes, our
Yes,
favorite band. We're going to have to go.
absolute favorite.
We're going to have to go, and maybe they could get on Glenn's show. Maybe if Glenn went to the Dairyfield and tried to get Leaving Eden for
Philip Phillips, from what my friend said. So a kid named
Philip Phillips?
fucking Phillips.
Philip Phillips, really? Yeah. Okay.
Yay.
I'm gonna run up and get that album. You know,
I
hey.
do love he had to qualify it with, that's what my friends told me.
Yeah, like he's not
Like
watching.
he didn't watch
Yeah,
it.
like he didn't vote for Philip Phillips.
It's fine, Matt, if you watched it. It's fine.
Nobody's
We all have our
judging
guilty-
you. I mean,
I
it's
watched
like-
the Kathy Griffin talk show on Thursday nights. We all have our guilty pleasures.
I watch Dance Moms, okay? How does that like
And
anything
Toddlers
about-
and Tiaras.
Yeah, but I'm watching Toddlers and Tiaras for the creepy Glens in the audience and the host.
You are a creepy Glenn.
You know, those people. Look at Miss Montana.
Is he becoming an adjective now?
Yes. There's Miss Montana. She looks like I want to rustle up some Montana steaks with her tonight. Ooh. Like it's every single time. Every time you see those people on there, like the statements they come up with on there, though, it's like, because they have like, it's like Miss Beef Side 2012, and it's like, I'd like to beef her side. It's like, what? What is that guy even talking about? Like, and why are they playing this on the Learning Channel?
Yeah.
Why are they even showing this?
Yeah.
Like, where are the police right now? Where are they? It's like, are you kidding me? Like, and the moms are sitting there going, yeah, that's my little stripper. That's my little stripper right there. There's my little Cassidy. There's my little Tammy Lynn. There she is. There's my little princess. Yeah. I was watching part of one episode the other night. A woman named her daughter Queen. Yeah. And she had her in this little cowboy outfit that was like a little belly shirt, little tassels, and the girl was doing these little like stripper dances. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's already got her ready. Yep, she's ready. She's ready to be collecting the welfare and dancing on a pole. Yep. So I'm just waiting to see that competition and be like, you know.
Just amazing.
But no, if you watch American Idol, that's fine. You can admit to watch it. I used to watch it. As I said, I used to watch
I did,
episodes.
yeah.
I liked Constantine. I was rooting for Constantine. I thought he had talent. And I mean, I guess he's yeah, you said he did Rock of Ages on Broadway. He
Yep.
makes an appearance, I guess, in the Rock of
I
Ages
think
movie.
Pope Vice was like his understudy.
Was
too.
he?
Just to add insult to
Small
injury.
world.
But then that movie, The Goods, they have, what is it? They hire Bo Bice's brother or something to go to.
How do you remember shit like that?
That's like for the.
It's like, yes.
That's in the movie The Goods. They have like
Oh,
at the car
God.
dealership they have like a big weekend and they have like a performer and they're announcing it as Bo Bice, but it's actually they hired Bo Bice's
Bice's
brother.
brother.
That's
Oh,
who's
really?
it's going to be performing. It's like we got Bo Bice's brother.
That's funny.
It's like, have you? I think the way they even put it too is like, have you heard of Bo Bice? It's like, oh yeah. It's like we got Bo Bice's brother going to be on the show tonight. It's like, all right.
Maybe we could get Bo Bice's brother.
I
on the
think
show.
we
Maybe.
could. We probably could.
Maybe we could get Bo Bice.
Well, as I said, I've
There's
seen.
a good chance of that.
I
too.
think he's got like 4 albums, and I have seen every one of his albums
Yeah.
at the Dollar Tree.
He probably has his own Ustream show too.
Probably.
That is kind of scary, though, when you walk into a Dollar Tree and see all 4 of his albums.
And we could get Sanjaya.
Sanjaya probably would do it. I think he does his own podcast, though, now. I think because everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
And there's like, I've noticed, though, there's a lot of people that were big names at one time. Like Larry King has a podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he went from having his show, he leaves his show, he retires, and some big major internet network that just started up, like some big company like started up this internet network and hired him
And where
as one of the
Rather
first.
went as well. Didn't Dan Rather start doing?
Dan Rather's on HDNet.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't think I have
HDNet,
that.
you do if you have the premium channel there. If
Really?
you have the extended thing, yeah. It's,
Like I know current
it's
more than I know
738.
HD.
HD, and this is what upset me because I don't have HDNet. Last night they broadcast live. Collective Soul had a show last night live that they
Really?
played the full show.
Oh wow.
And I don't get the channel, so I couldn't record it because I would have loved to it because it's their latest tour. It's their and they played I think in California somewhere. So it was on 11 o'clock last night. It's on HDNet. We get it here on Comcast on like channel 738 or 728. HDNet is a channel that Dan Rather has his show on. It has some travel show about 3 girls in bikinis that go to these different travel locations. I don't know if you remember the guy Art Mann. He used to be on the E channel.
Yes. Yeah, the
Years
name
ago.
sounds familiar.
They have a show with Art Mann on there.
Is he with Steve Kometko as well?
No, I don't think Steve Kometko's on there. I
Never
don't
happened to
even think
Steve
Steve
Kometko.
Kometko's even around. There's MMA fighting, and there's some other like show on HDNet, and that's all HDNet is now. And then they did Rocklahoma a couple weekends ago where they played the Rocklahoma Metal Fest. They played that live
Would it
all
be-
night.
Would it be Rocklahoma?
Rocklahoma, but no, it's Rocklahoma, and Ted Nugent was there.
Oh, no.
He was there.
No.
He
I
was
don't
the
have
dude
Advil.
was there.
I do not have Advil.
But and I wished I had HDNet so I could have seen what he was ranting about while he was there on stage because I heard he played like maybe 3 songs and then ranted for about 45 minutes.
There's no Mexicans
You know.
in Oklahoma.
Well, you don't know what could be in Oklahoma though. There might be some of them homosexuals.
homosexuals there.
There's some of them fagosexuals in Oklahoma.
The gays left when they realized it wasn't the musical.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're like,
well,
what?
They had a musical about this
Where's
place.
the thing in?
You know.
No.
But I guess what happened though, what I understand, like there's some YouTube footage though. Queensryche, I guess Jeff Tate yells at the people in the audience.
Really?
Yeah, I guess Queensryche is breaking up or something, and he starts screaming at the audience, calling them a bunch of names or something.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen the footage, but supposedly there was some announcement. I think Eddie Trunk hosted the show, and Eddie Trunk, somebody was asking him like after or something, what the hell happened with Jeff Tate? Like this breakdown during the show. But he starts complaining to the people in Oklahoma, telling Oklahoma they suck and stuff while he was on stage. It was
Really? That's
it made
weird.
no sense. And then there was
Did
like
Oklahoma
rumors.
rape him? As
I
a
think
child?
they did something to Queensryche. I don't know, but it was like, but supposedly there was rumors that Queensryche was on the outs of they're breaking up, and that was his way of dealing with this breakup. But he starts like instead of having like a falling out with his band, he's falling out with the state of Oklahoma for some
Yeah.
reason, which didn't make sense. But he goes on some rant about how the audience sucks and they suck and he can't stand Oklahoma. It was just this really weird thing.
Huh.
But yeah, they do concerts every Saturday night. They do a live broadcast, and they did Collective Soul last night. But it's HD now, and that's what I guess it's one of those networks, kind of like Current, where they're trying to get like some big names on there.
Yeah.
And I think it's Mark Cuban or whatever the guy's name is that I think he's the owner of the network.
He's like the big. Oh, I'm thinking of Burnett. Never mind.
Yeah, Cuban's the
Burnett.
one that owns the he owns a basketball team. He owns
Okay.
like about he's
I was thinking the big reality
yeah.
producer star, that reality show, but that's
What's funny is if you go online, which you're online to their site, if you look up to see if you have it in your area, it denies that Comcast even has it. But when you go on Comcast, it actually tells you that they have it and it's on your channel guide
Really?
listing. Yeah, it's really weird. Because you click subscribe, you put in your zip code. I did last night. It tells me, nope, sorry, you don't have it in your area on Comcast, but you can get it on DirecTV. But the
yeah, and even in the list of like their top TV providers, it doesn't even say.
it says Comcast Infinity.
Does
It does. It's up there.
Oh, Comcast. There
Yeah,
it is. Jesus,
but it's just
sorry.
when I put in my zip code, it might do it different for you. But if you do it as Comcast Corporation, and you hit continue, it comes up saying sorry, it's not available in your area.
Weird.
But it's on the Comcast lineup. It's on the channels because it was on my viewing guide last night.
You kind of switch channels just for a second, and pardon the pun on that.
Yes.
Dish is still canceling Edition. AMC still couldn't get a deal, from what I understand. I thought they had, but
so Dish Network is canceling AMC.
Or yeah, they won't be carrying it.
The Dish Network.
Yeah, I have on my Facebook. I liked Walking Dead. I think it's a great show. So since I did that, I get all of AMC's updates and everything. And tonight I just saw Dish subscribers, you have 14 days before you lose us.
So Dish Network.
Well, I thought for some reason that they had worked something out, but I guess not.
So Dish Network had a contract dispute with American Movie Classics.
Yep.
So American Movie Classics will no longer be on Dish, probably unless they resolve this, because they had the same issue with NFL Network and some other. So this could mean, again, the channel's called American Movie Classics, so this could mean people out there that own Dish Network may never see the final shift.
There's a strong possibility.
There's a strong possibility because that classic movie will never be aired on American Movie Classics.
They'll show it on ABC.
I want to see that Osborne guy introduce that one as the classic.
That's, what will happen. But no, what gets me about American Movie Classics too, and this is one thing that drives me batty. I was looking through the viewing guide one night, and they had like the new classics on American Movie Classics, and they had Catwoman.
That's a classic. A classic piece of shit, but it's a classic.
How is Catwoman an American Movie Classic? And do we want? Let's say we have some foreign exchange students, and we have some people that come over here to visit, and they're going through the cable. They're in a hotel room. They're going through the cable, and every basic cable has the AMC in the hotel rooms. And they're going through, and they're like, oh, well, let's watch a good classic American movie, and there happens to be Catwoman on, and they're thinking, these fucking stupid, pathetic Americans, Catwoman, this is an American Movie Classic.
This is the best America has to offer. Really.
Like Catwoman. Like, who made that determination at that channel?
I heard Howard the Duck followed.
Yeah, but that's been on that channel, though. That's what I'm saying. There's these movies.
It's been on Showtime
who's
or something.
Classic.
Or something
but that's fine, though. I mean, and again, that's one of those movies that I actually like. I saw Howard the Duck in the theaters when that came out. I liked Howard the Duck.
Of course you did.
Because I thought that was, that's one of the better George Lucas movies that he needs to go out and just redo. he needs to go and just re-edit that movie.
He needs to re-release it in its entirety.
He needs to re-release a director's cut and add footage to that movie. But no, I thought Howard the Duck it's a camp classic. It's one of those movies that it's a movie like Showgirls. Showgirls is a horrible movie that nobody can admit they like. But people, look at your face. You love the movie Showgirls.
The dog food eating conversation is by far one of the best. It's up there with Scorsese dialogue.
In Showgirls?
Yes.
But that's the thing. I mean, it's
I prefer striptease.
You like striptease?
I will watch striptease from the beginning to
you
the
want me
end.
to put cream corn in my hoo-ha?
Yep.
Yeah, but striptease.
Anything with Robert Patrick makes me horny.
Anything with Burt Reynolds covered in Vaseline.
I love the way it squishes between my toes.
That's but striptease though, at least striptease is funny, intentionally funny though. I mean, that's a comedy. With Showgirls, they weren't marketing that as a comedy. So,
anyone remember what the TV show series was called that was basically
Birds of Prey.
Superhero?
Yeah, it's Birds of Prey. I love that show. I'm a Batman freak. I know. That was Birds of Prey. She was the Huntress. But in the comic book, Huntress is different than that show. So, yes. What?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared? Why are you scared? That's what it
Where
is.
did you pull that one from?
Because I have the show on DVD. I collect Batman.
In the annals of the memory.
I'm a comic book geek when it comes to Batmania. I call it that stuff. I actually loved the Birds of Prey show. I thought that was another one of those shows that had great potential, and the WB, I think it was who had it. It was either the WB or the C. What was the one that took over the WB?
CW is now.
CW or whatever. It was either on the CW or the WB at the time. The WB was who had it at the time. They didn't know what to do with the show, and they only, I think it lasted like 13 episodes or 14 episodes. But the original pilot actually has Batman scene in it, but they never had the Batman. You never had Bruce Wayne. You never had Batman in the show. He was alluded to, but you never
Well,
had
the
it.
Smallville was 8 seasons. You never see the blue
Till
costume
the
to the very
till the final end.
Yeah.
He puts on the costume and then
Really?
yeah.
I've never seen the show.
Well,
I never saw it. I was reading a recap of the
the
finale.
thing I like, and I followed
very end.
Smallville from the beginning. The thing I liked about Smallville, though, he wore red and blue throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
He'd have a
weren't those
red
the-
jacket and a blue T-shirt.
Oh, really?
The costuming he always wore red and blue.
Oh.
And then the last few seasons when he was becoming a superhero, he wore all black. He would wear like a black coat and a black T-shirt, and he started wearing the S on his chest as a black, But in the final episode, when he becomes Superman, he does put on the cape, he puts on everything, and he goes and flies around. And a season before that, you do see the costume. Like there was some flashes of it where you saw it in the season before that, but he finally puts it on in the ending of the finale when the show finally ended. But I always thought it would be neat in Smallville. They never brought in like Bruce Wayne. You never brought in Batman or anything
Yeah.
in Smallville. Like I always thought it would have been neat to have, bring in a Bruce Wayne coming in as a young
You only
Bruce
meet
Wayne.
the villains, like Superman's villains. You never meet.
No.
Did you meet anybody?
Well, you had Green Arrow on there, and you had other superheroes that went on there that you met. You met like Supergirl was on there. You met there was other people that they brought in. They had
But
Black
not
Canary.
the big, like the Batman.
No, you didn't have Wonder Woman. You didn't have Batman. You didn't have people like that. But you had other people that were in the Justice League. You had you had Aquaman. You had
That's what I was thinking. I thought I had heard Aquaman.
Yeah. The Flash. Yeah, you had.
No, here's I'm thinking almost 2 years now. One of the Entertainment Weeklies I had was the actor that they were going to bring in for the reboot of Superman, but I've heard nothing since. I've heard nothing ever since. It's the picture of the kid wearing the new uniform. They redesigned it.
Was it Nicolas Cage?
Yes, yeah, because he has to be in everything. But I've not heard anything since then. And I don't know if it's because with all the pressure from the Avengers and everything else that's the final Batman that's coming out, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah, that looks like a good movie, and they're hinting about because of the success of the Avengers, they're hinting that they've green-lighted the Justice League movie.
But will it be Christian Bale and Brandon Roth, or are they gonna do the reboot of Superman?
Well, supposedly
New Superman?
the reboot's supposed to be of the new Superman, and I don't know if Christian
And
Bale
they're
will
still-
sign up to do.
They still have no idea what the fuck to do with Wonder Woman. Was it gonna be a TV series because NBC had picked it up, and then they decided not to?
Well, they shot the pilot, and then they just
and
shelved
they wanted
it.
to still do a film version of it.
Yeah. I think are they afraid of who to market the film to? Or are they afraid of who would go see Wonder
Yeah,
Woman?
I don't know.
Afraid? It's I'm wondering what they're hesitant about. Is Wonder Woman marketable? Is it who have we had for women superheroes?
I don't know. I mean,
you know?
I know the sales of all 3 seasons were actually pretty spectacular.
Well, because that's a camp classic. That's
Yeah.
that's a that was a show that made no sense because you were in Nazi Germany one season and then you're in modern
And they changed networks too, right?
They changed networks and you changed time. You time traveled on
Yeah.
that show and you had the what was it? It wasn't. It was the great grandson of the original. Lyle Wagner's character was. When you went to the second season, it was he was the great grandson or whatever, or the grandson of the original character that was in Nazi Germany, and it was. Yeah, it was really weird how they handled it when they changed the format of the
Yeah.
show. Because
it was a half hour to an hour. I think it actually changed time too. They went from a 30-minute episode to an hour episode or something. I don't remember.
A half hour of Wonder Woman?
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking Twilight Zone when they changed networks. Twilight Zone went from a 30-minute show to an hour.
Yeah, the last couple seasons it was an
Yeah.
hour.
That's what happens when they change networks.
Yeah.
Anyone catching the new Dallas?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen
I
it
want to
yet.
see it.
You want to see it, Matt?
I do.
I wanna see it,
Oh, I
too.
loved Dallas when I was a kid.
It's already aired, right? It's already
Yep.
had its first one or two
Yeah.
episodes.
I remember their final episode where the devil was showing JR.
Joel
his-
Grey.
Yeah. Oh, I love Joel Grey.
That's how the final episode
And that's
was. There
no
was the
bull.
devil.
It's a Wonderful Life. They showed what JR's life would have been like I think when he got shot,
Mhm.
if he didn't survive, and this is what your life is going to be like. Patrick Duffy takes over the family and all that stuff.
Really?
And you think it's an angel showing him through his life, and at the very end, it turns out it's the devil trying to convince JR to shoot himself. And the last scene, if I recall, the last scene is Patrick Duffy walks in just as JR has the gun in his hand, and it just shows a picture of the outside. You hear the gunshot go off. Patrick Duffy opens up the door, and he just has a oh my god moment, and
Yeah.
that's how it ended.
Hmm.
And then they spoiled everything because 10 years later they came out with a made-for-TV
The
movie later on.
Return to Dallas or whatever.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, they explain in that JR shoots the mirror.
Yeah, that's kind of what we all suspected at the very end too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
that's-
the implication though is that he had shot himself because you don't hear a glass
Yeah.
when he shoots
When
the
he
mirror.
shoots the
but
gun,
it
you
turns
just
out
don't-
that that's what it was, and he tells Bobby,
Was the devil
that
in the mirror or
Bobby?
something, or was he like what?
right? The devil was in the
Yes.
mirror.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
And he explains to Bobby that
The devil was in the
Jock
mirror.
always told JR that he had the devil in him, so he just figured he'd try
Yeah.
to
Shoot
get
the
rid of
devil.
him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I never watched any episodes.
Oh, really?
I never followed the show.
I used to love Dallas.
Never saw it. I was in the
I
Dynasty.
vaguely remember
Never
it
the
because I was a
Dallas.
little bit younger than you guys, but I
Yeah.
vaguely remember all the TV guides and everything that's had the Who Shot JR.
I mean, I remember all the stuff about it. I
Yeah.
remember. I even had a Dallas game.
Was
but I
it-
never I never was in the show. I never understood why I had the Dallas game because I never watched the show.
They
Yeah.
played that on The Office too.
The Dallas game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it Dynasty that had the atrocious cliffhanger where there was a wedding that took place, I think, in Monaco, and some terrorists came in and shot up.
Oh yeah.
everybody.
That was
yeah.
Dynasty. Yeah, that was
All right.
Dynasty.
Dynasty,
Yeah, where you had to figure out the next
And
season
the
who
only-
survived.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reason I said it was
Yeah.
atrocious is because half the extras who were lying in the church
Yeah.
kept moving.
Yeah.
Nobody knew how to play dead.
Huh.
It was like, really?
Yeah, when you see the
Even as a
footage of
kid,
it.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
there like, he's alive, she's
Yeah.
alive.
When you see the footage, you see a lot of moving, like body
Yeah.
parts and
Really?
stuff. But that's the nerves, because the nerves still move, like because
Yeah, you don't necessarily die
You don't
instantly
necessarily.
when
You
you're
twitch.
shot,
You twitch.
so
You
They
twitch.
also
you twitch.
evacuate the bowels, but they're not going to show that.
Yeah,
Right.
well.
Well, no, I'm not
Yeah.
on television.
No, how dare
Maybe
they.
on an HBO show, but no. But the it was always weird growing up because, and I think maybe my father just got a good deal on the game, but I remember having the Dallas game, but never once watching an episode of Dallas,
Huh.
and I could never figure out why do I have the Dallas board
I
game.
think I still have a Murder She Wrote board game at
Murder,
home, and I
She
never
Wrote
watched
board
Murder
game.
She Wrote.
That's
So
weird.
somewhere,
That's weird that you
somewhere
didn't
a
know.
relative or somebody in
And
your family
I once
gave you
tried
that.
to read the
but-
directions on it. It was the most ludicrous game
Really?
ever.
You have to be Angela Lansbury for an
Yep.
8, right? No, I remember the Dallas game too was was a cheaply made game too. It was one of those
Yeah.
things that I'm sure he went to some cheap there used to be a store in Merrimack called Zyla's, which he went to all the time, and he was friends with the owners of the store, and it was the type of store that is it's kind of like the Big Lots of yesteryear, or
PK
like that.
Silas? Is that?
Well, PK was one of the sons, but
Oh, okay.
Zyla's was like the original store, and then PK
Oh, like a
Zyla's opened
Zayre's?
up as like
No, Zayre's
no,
was more
Zayre's
like
was
a
a
art.
Dart store. This was these were one of those when nobody wanted stuff, like a Big Lots or
Building 19.
like a Building 19,
Yeah.
but worse than a Building 19, where it would be like games and toys that were recalled because of safety issues.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like when the truck
Yeah.
would be on its way to the recall. Let's say, and I'm not saying the mafia were involved, but let's say somebody might have pulled that truck over at a way station, and a few of those carts might have made it off the truck. They end up in this store, and they have auctions for these materials.
Zyla
For
does
some-
end in a vowel.
For some reason, every Christmas or every birthday, every holiday, my father would give us these outdated games or toys, but the Dallas game we had gotten right when Dallas was the hot show.
Yeah.
And he'd said, "All right, kids, I got you this game, this board game." And we're like, "We don't fucking watch Dallas." Or Dallas. Why do we have the Dallas game?
Yeah.
None of us watched it. And in fact, when we were growing up, we never even got CBS. Like
really?
our TV, because we had an antenna. We got
Yeah.
like 2 channels, 3 channels,
Yeah.
and where we lived, we couldn't get CBS, so we barely could get it. So we had to sit there and try. So we never watched Dallas, and that may be one of the reasons why I never got into MASH, because I could never watch it as a kid, you know.
Right.
But it was like, so he brings home this Dallas game, and I remember just going, what? Why?
Yeah.
Like, where's my BJ and the Bear? Like, come on.
Right.
But he would, and then but the, the other funny thing was, and
BJ and the Bear.
me and my brother joke about this too.
And then my dad brought home an actual bear.
Like
and,
a bear.
Someone gave me a BJ.
Yeah, he brought home a hooker and a bear. He said, "You want a BJ and a bear? Here you go, son."
He gave me a BJ and a bear.
And if
But-
anyone would do that.
But one Christmas, because of these auctions, these toy auctions, one Christmas my father gave my brother and I matching Oscar Goldman dolls. Now, you remember Oscar Goldman? Does anybody remember Oscar Goldman? Now, if you don't remember who Oscar Goldman was, if you've seen 40-Year-Old Virgin, you should know Oscar Goldman.
I've seen 40-Year-Old
Okay.
Virgin.
Oscar Goldman, and they give him a hard time in 40-Year-Old Virgin because he has an Oscar Goldman doll. We have the original Oscar Goldman dolls. He came with an exploding briefcase. That's what he came with. He was in a 3-piece suit and an exploding briefcase. He was the $6 million man's boss. Okay, he wasn't the $6 million man. We didn't get the cool $6 million
The guy
man
with the
doll.
glasses and
He didn't have glasses.
he didn't.
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else then.
All right, let me ask. Oh, okay. Now that it's coming back to me that yes, because she points out like, who's this? Oh, it's. Why do you?
Well, I think isn't it?
was it
in the
Seth
movie?
Rogen?
It's Seth Rogen that says
Okay.
you have an Oscar Goldman doll. You have the $6 million man's boss, and it actually is.
And
In
you
the toy line, it's the more collectible doll because nobody bought them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why my father got them, because nobody bought the Oscar Goldman doll.
It makes sense.
So at the
It
toy
certainly
auction
does.
he went to, that's what they had. So for
Yeah.
Christmas one year, my brother and I get these dolls. Like, we open up these dolls, we both get Oscar Goldman. So one of us don't get, we don't get the $6 million man.
You get
And
Oscar
we
Goldman.
both get Oscar Goldmans.
Yeah.
So we can pretend to both be Oscar Goldman. Ooh, that's fun.
So that's- yeah.
Wait a minute, though. I'm the doppelganger Oscar Goldman, and my brother is the real Oscar Goldman. It's like, oh, I'm the android Oscar Goldman. I'm gonna.
Who is Michael?
And we can't be saved by Steve Austin because my father was too cheap to buy us Steve Austin.
Yeah, they
You
have to
know?
save each other.
And all the Steve Austin doll did was it had a giant eye because you had to look through his bionic eye. It was
Yeah.
the most atrociously looking doll.
Yeah.
But the Steve Austin had a briefcase that if you turned it the wrong way, it blew up. So all the documents and papers were like
I was
charbroiled.
gonna say, was it supposed to do it on purpose, or was this a manufacturer default?
No, but it could have hurt you though, because the pieces did fly and they were fragmented pieces.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was really fun. It was like
Who
a-
was Michael Knight's boss, the one with the eye patch?
I don't remember his
I believe
name,
I had his
but-
doll.
I didn't,
I didn't even
doll.
have Kit or Michael Knight.
You
I had
his
the eye patch guy.
See, now, if you're around our same age, you could have came over with him. We could have had the bosses. We coulda had
And then we
just-
could have had the Greatest American Heroes friend there as well.
Oh, Bill. We could have the Bill doll
What's his
there.
name? Jesus.
Robert Culp was the actor.
Culp,
but
thank
it's
you.
the,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bill. I'm trying to think of what the character's name was, because that's another one of my all-time favorite shows, as we all know. It's Great.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah. The.
William Cat.
And I had the pleasure of meeting William Catt a
Oh,
couple of
yes,
years ago
yes.
at the Rocket Shock,
We were talking about that.
where he messed up on my my actual copy of the book. He messes up on, and he gets all apologetic, but he doesn't pay me back my $20 that I had to spend for the autograph. It's
What
like,
about $20?
it's like I don't know why I still had to give him $20 for an autograph, but
That was William Cat.
at least he was nicer. Well, yeah, at least he was nicer than Danny Trio. but that-
Recently, he was in Heroes. That's the only thing I can remember.
he was in Heroes, and yeah, I think
And a lot of Cinemax, like made for TV, straight
like
to
made for Cinemax, made for
Yeah.
video movies. Yeah.
The Final Shift comes to mind.
Was he in the final shift?
Yep.
He would have made
He was
the
a
final
waiter.
shift better.
Wow.
He was one of the extras. He was
Yeah.
he was the extra. He was the stand-in for Delta.
I just need to get fed. Please let me be in this movie.
What the hell was that?
What?
There's like a bass tone coming.
Yeah.
Is that like?
I think somebody just drove by with.
Oh, it was like
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Is there somebody else in the building
Between-
rehearsing? Is there?
Between all that and the motorcycles this weekend.
Now, so you went to the Pride thing in
I
Providence.
did Providence Pride yesterday.
A lot of
was there.
lesbians.
A lot of lesbians.
'Cause I noticed the picture you with Frenchie. There was a lot of women in that picture. I was like
They
noticing
do
it
love
wasn't a
their
lot of
bald
men.
black chicks.
Yeah. I was
I'll be
like-
right back.
Ooh, see, he's getting
I can't
excited.
hold it till the end.
I
Yeah,
have to.
getting
I
excited.
think we'll. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Well, I gotta pee sometime too, and I think I'm gonna wrap this
We
up
should wrap it
because
up,
we've
yeah.
been up. we got up at. Well, I met Glenn at 7 here at the QCE News Studios here at
QCE
814
News.
Elm Street, Manchester, New Hampshire. Picked up everybody. We were on the road by 8. So there was a 2-hour drive down. Setting up by 10. The festival started. Well, we got set up by noon because that's when the stage was supposed to go on. They didn't really get started till 12:30. So we were out in the sun. We had. This is part of our tent that we had from.
Wow, that's fancy.
And as you can see, it's wonderful quality tent. Everybody else had the pop-ups with the nice, the easy pop-ups. We had this, and then Frenchie went on. She was the closer, the headliner.
Was there
That
any
got
other
done
famous celebrities, or
No.
was she the only?
No,
And she's
there weren't
D-list,
even a
right?
lot of good singers that they had,
Okay.
the performers. A lot of leaving Edens. So she got done by about 7. Now from 12:30 to 7:30, straight on. It was just performers, drag queens, and things like that.
They have a parade or anything?
Yep.
They did?
So we break down the set. We found a parking spot in downtown Manchester because the parade was actually like 5 or 6 blocks away
Where was it?
from. What's that?
Where was it?
Providence?
You said Manchester. You
Did
just
I
said
say
downtown. I was
Manchester?
like,
I'm
downtown
sorry.
Manchester.
This is how exhausted we are.
Okay,
So yeah,
alright.
so like 5 or 6 blocks away across the river. I don't know why they didn't, because then everybody, all the vendors and everybody, we had to break down, and everybody had to cross the river, find a parking space in downtown Providence, and then the parade started a little late as well. Went to about 10:30. So there's 12 hours right there.
Yeah.
And then we hopped on the road, tried to beat traffic, came back after I dropped everybody off. I got home by about 1:10. So it was a long ass day, but well worth it because we got a lot of footage. For those of you who try to tune in and catch the live version, we're sorry. We ran into internet problems again. We need to find like a hot spot or something along those lines. I was able to find one. Clear, I think, was the name of the network that they offer, but it's $35.
Wow.
It's for the month too. It's $35 a month, and I just needed it for the time. So anyway, we'll if you come back to QCE News in a little bit, it should be uploaded. Right now, we have uploaded the Boston Pride Parade. So if you want to watch that, please go to QCEnews.com and check that out. I think we are going to wrap up because not only do I have to pee, but
You are wiping
I have to go to
yourself
work
out.
tomorrow, and I'm sunburnt as hell. So, any parting thoughts?
Breaking news: the Muslim Brotherhood has taken over Egypt. They have won.
I did get that CNN update.
They have
yeah.
won the Egyptian presidential vote, so the Muslim Brotherhood is taking over Egypt, which everybody was kind of saying that was going to happen anyway.
And we'll see if the Muslim Brotherhood gets reelected in November.
So,
Oh!
like, whoa, hey. Well, according to Sean Hannity,
I
he's
do
already
love
been
Obama.
giving money to the
I-
Muslim Brotherhood. Anyway,
Well, I'm not in love with Obama, but certainly I think he's a better date. I think Romney would just
Yeah,
fly
but-
there. And,
oh, you're talking about that way. I was going to say because Romney at least will get you some lobster, some prime rib.
Yeah.
He'll buy you a nice dinner.
and he'll show me all the trees that are the right height.
I mean, I'd rather have the lobster, the prime rib, than a 10-piece bucket of chicken. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm just going
I
to put
see,
it on.
I would take the
That's,
chicken. I'd take the chicken, watermelon,
Would
and
you,
soda.
I mean, come on. I'd rather
and
have.
remember, Mormons can't drink soda, so
Well, yeah, but you don't need soda, and you
Mormons
can't.
can't drink
They can't
soda?
drink alcohol. They can't drink soda. They can't drink
Nope.
caffeine
it
beverages.
messes up their magic underwear.
They can't. They have. Well, no,
I have
I
no
thought they
clue
could
if
they.
the two of those are actually
No, is
together,
it
but-
soda or is it just caffeinated soda? though?
Caffeine. It's
It's
caffeine.
caffeine. So they could have Sprite.
Yeah.
You could have a nice Sierra Mist.
Yeah,
So, I
Sierra
mean,
Mist won't mess
yeah,
up your
Yeah,
magic
won't make
number.
that. But the no, the only what was I was going to point something? Oh, the
Sean Hannity. You were
no,
saying?
no, I was just saying that no, the thing that Hannity has been pointing out, and it's known fact because Hillary Clinton pointed out too, is that there were money that went to Egypt to the Muslim Brotherhood, but that was just a quick thing I was saying.
Is a
But
brotherhood
no,
of
I was just going to point out
Muslims.
Verizon. For anybody that doesn't know about Verizon, and you were talking about the internet and all that, we're going to be now paying more if you have Verizon phone coverage. But
I see. Now we talked about this not too long ago, but
Yeah.
I was my understanding that there was a grandfather clause. But
supposedly this is for the people like us that are grandfathered in now. I guess we're not. Supposedly at the end of this month or something, I've been told.
and that's what I thought. you heard.
We're now like they're going to give us unlimited talk time now and unlimited texting, but now we're going to be paying for our internet on the
yeah,
phone.
and because they
It's
know
they're
that
reversing
people
it
these
because
days
that's-
don't usually talk on the phone, and
Yeah.
yet some of us still text regularly. But now
Right.
we're going.
So we're
over
gonna give.
to
So they're gonna give
where
us
you can
unlimited
get
talking,
AOL
unlimited text.
Messenger and shit like that on your phone.
And
But
you're
that's
gonna be-
only if your grandfather is Mormon? Is
Yeah,
that
something
how
about
that
your
works?
grandfather has to be
Yes.
Mormon or Muslim.
and has to admit to killing Rodney King.
Yeah, but
Oh, right.
But there's
Yes.
so it's something that and I guess Verizon isn't telling. This is what I think is so sneaky about these bastards is Verizon's not telling the people though. They're just gonna surprise you with your next billing or whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, we did release it. We did tell you."
And I see
But-
you're also logged into the Xfinity page.
Yeah.
Only a couple of months ago, they started limiting your internet usage. They
Yeah.
provide you with internet, but they give
Yeah.
you a limit of like
Oh, really?
250 gigs a month,
Yeah, they
which you
give
can use up pretty well if you use Netflix or if you use Xfinity service. They have an on-demand service, but
Yeah.
if you use it up, they'll send you a stern warning.
Wow.
Yeah, they
really?
give you like
Yeah.
they sent me a message saying something about I can upgrade to their performance package thing or something. They have a higher end now. that
That's
you
what I
get
have,
Yeah,
that
and
when
they
I went
give
with
you
this
like
package.
a higher end thing, and they tell you that we'll give you this, but if you try to upgrade it, if you're in an already existing package, you lose that existing package. And then you go into like a regular, like it's because we're in this package. I think we're in like a 1-year package or 2. I forget what the packages we're in now.
Mine that I'm
but-
in is a 1 year.
But I was like, oh, okay, well, if I need the better internet to get the higher thing, oh, sure, okay, I'll do this. But then it comes up with a thing saying, well, if you do that, you're going to jeopardize your package you're in. Now your bill's going to be $290-something a month. And I'm like, well, why? I'm in this. If you're saying this internet now is only $10 more than what I'm paying now, shouldn't it be $10 over what I'm paying? No, because that was a package deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can't give you this because you're an existing customer. It's just it's how they're
And it's stupid
you know.
where you can connect your device, like your Apple and your other your Droid devices, to the internet to get wireless. You've got, let's say you have a family of 4. You've got kids who have laptops. Got maybe the adults have iPads. Maybe the kids have iPads. You have all these devices connecting wirelessly, all keeping track of this data. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah, it's just said the man trying to get us.
it says the
Yes.
man.
That's what it
Man,
is.
any parting thoughts?
No,
Anything going on?
I got nothing. I'm tapped out.
I am tapped out as
Nothing
well.
going on, huh?
Check out IPMNation.com for all of the live programming, for all of the broadcasts, for everything that's out there, all of the IPMNation.com goodness.
Nation.
Nation. I say
IPM
that's
Think about
Nation.
Dallas. That's how they say it in
Nation.
Texas.
Nation.
IPM
Check out
Nation.com.
QCnews.com for all of that programming and for the online version of the paper, which should be up very soon.
Really?
What else is there? Amsterdam, our good friends of Amsterdam.
Oh, you're friends with them now.
TV23.
Okay.
What's that?
You're friends with them now?
I
You
made up
forgive
with
them for
them,
them?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
All I know is I have to pee, so everyone have a great night. You can always contact us during the week at ve@ipmnation.com. We will see you next Sunday at 9:30. Good night.
Good night and have a pleasant Father's Day.